This week on MSNBC, Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski earned big fat F's in journalistic integrity, and ACT TV is here to help them make a correction. Welcome everyone, I'm Julianna Forlano. This week on MSNBC's Morning Joe, host Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski had Charles Koch and later his brother David on their program for a light filleting. An interview.
Well, you guys both played rugby.
You were the big brother.
You take after your mother by being very sociable.
Hide the kids, people. It is disgusting. In case you've forgotten, the Koch brothers are billionaire industrialists who fund a massive array of right-wing front groups and other efforts to sway public opinion, affect legislation, and affect judicial decisions. They're largely responsible for poisoning our air, water, food, and land, and they fund science denial and climate skepticism. They support Citizens United, fight against campaign finance reform, and as you'll see in this interview, they are completely full of crap. The segment starts with a shot of young people who, due to Koch influence of the economy, probably won't be able to afford to go to college. Yay. And if they do get to go, they'll get the honor of taking on a lifetime of debt to be indoctrinated with free market economic theory at one of the hundreds of US universities that take millions of Koch dollars in exchange for pushing this widely discredited economic horse crap.
How discouraged are you with the current state of the Republican Party?
I was so disgusted with both parties because they weren't advancing these very things we were talking about.
Things like letting corporations do whatever they want with no regard for human health or environmental well-being. Oh, sorry to jump in, Joe. I'm sure you were going to ask the appropriate follow-up question. Okay.
And then in 2003, I thought, well, maybe George Bush will advance some of these because
you paid him to.
3 years later, he was going the opposite way. He created more destructive regulations.
Destructive to whom? You and Koch Industries helped craft the Bush administration's anti-regulatory agenda. You are on MSNBC right now. You know that, right? Some of us actually know things.
Do you see a candidate out there?
Not in great measure.
Not in great measure.
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
That is a very tactful way.
Yeah, thank you very
that's
much.
pretty good.
Oh, isn't he so likable? I wonder if the father whose daughter burned to death in front of him because Koch Industries knowingly ran butane through corroded pipelines and it exploded when she started her truck. I wonder if that father thinks he's funny and likable too. Plus, that whole answer is a huge lie.
David said some nice words about Walker.
Right.
You know how much we've given to his campaign?
I hope none.
Zero.
No, you didn't fund them directly. You funded a front group who then funded them.
And then another example, Ted Cruz, we haven't given any money to him.
Does anyone else get like a metallic-y taste in your mouth when someone is being completely disingenuous, like right to your face?
I would love to have the government stop this corporate welfare.
You mean the same corporate welfare that allows you to rake in billions of dollars at the taxpayers' expense?
I want the government to require that companies only profit by helping make other people's lives better.
Here's a question from me, Charles. Do you know who you are? Did you have a stroke recently, or are you suffering from amnesia? Do you think we did? Next question.
I want to ask you something personally, because how surprised you seemed at the level of vitriol leveled against you and your family.
In other words, did the Koch brothers have hurt feelings? No, let me just answer that for you. They didn't. Sociopaths don't get hurt feelings. And seriously, is that your question? The Koch brothers' feelings. So the Koch brothers are the victims here? How about bringing on some of the people made sick, jobless, homeless, or dead by these guys and ask them about their feelings? That is what would make for good journalism. Am I right?
That is so true.
I know. So how about answering some real questions? How much money have you saved by lobbying to dump your toxic paper mill waste into America's rivers and streams instead of switching to cleaner technologies? Is it a libertarian value to socialize the cost of you doing a dirty, environmentally destructive business? Meaning you're having the American taxpayer foot the bill to clean up your company's destruction of our land, air, and water while you make exorbitant profits. Is that a libertarian thing? How would you defend your ideology given that every time free market economies and austerity policies have been installed in any country anywhere, it leads to economic hardship for working people, widespread suffering, and sometimes, if it's a brown or Spanish-speaking country, a bloody U.S. government-backed coup? See how it's done? Okay, Joe, let's give it one more try.
It's hard to find people in New York, liberals or conservatives alike, who haven't been touched by
The poison you have put in our air, water, education, economic, and political systems. Is that what you were going to say?
your graciousness,
You blew it.
whether it's towards the arts
I don't think he's getting it.
or cancer research.
We've got to get rid of these guys. Go to movetoamend.org and sign the petition to end corporate personhood and give our democracy back to the people, not the corporations. Money is not speech. Thanks for watching, everyone, and special thanks to ACT TV community member Jerry Alpazar for suggesting the topic for this segment. Jerry, you destroyed my whole week. Just kidding. Keep those suggestions coming. Make sure you don't miss an episode by liking ACT TV on Facebook. I'm Julianna Forlano. You can follow me on Twitter, ACT TV. Do more than watch.